Hello everyone, myself Himanshu Joshi. I am an assistant professor in Sri Labhubhai Trivedi Institute of Engineering and Technology, Rajkot. So now we will further move our topics of power system 2, and that topic is complex power flow. We have already learned about the complex power, active power, reactive power. Now we will further study that how complex power will flow through transmission line. So here consider the two ideal source which is connected by a transmission line which is having the impedance of Z equal to R plus Jx, and its polar form will be Z at an angle gamma. That two source will be V1, its value is V1 at an angle delta 1, and V2 is equal to mod V2 at an angle delta 2. The current flow is given as I12. So we will use this notation for this particular theory, that Z is equal to mod Z at an angle gamma, V1 equal to mod V1 at an angle delta 1, V2 equal to mod V2 at an angle delta 2. So this is the notation that we have already considered: V1 at an angle delta 1, V2 at an angle delta 2, and Z at an angle gamma. So now we are now able to find out the current which is flow in transmission line. We know that current is given by voltage divided by impedance Z. This voltage is nothing but the potential difference between two nodes. Here consider the first node at V1, second node at V2. So that potential difference will be given by V1 minus V2. So here we can write V1 at an angle delta 1 minus V2 at an angle delta 2. So now put individually Z in denominator with V1 and V2. So this is V1 at an angle delta 1 divided by Z at an angle gamma, minus V2 at an angle delta 2 divided by Z at an angle gamma. So we know that if we are having a two complex number, suppose A at an angle alpha and second number is B at an angle beta, then its division is equal to A by B, but angle will be subtracted from numerator to denominator. So that is equal to alpha minus beta. So over here division will be V1 by Z only, and resultant angle will be delta 1 minus gamma, and over here V2 by Z, and angle will be delta 2 minus gamma. Now we know that to determine the complex power we have to take the conjugate of current which is flow in transmission line. So from I12 now we are able to find out the I12 conjugate. That is nothing but the negative of particular angle. So negative of this angle will be gamma minus delta 1, and negative of this angle will be gamma minus delta 2. So that is the value of conjugate current of I12. So now from the conjugate of current and multiply the voltage, now we are able to find out the complex power which is flow in transmission line. So that is nothing but the equal to V1 into I12 conjugate. So V1 is equal to V1 at an angle delta 1, and this is the value of I1 conjugate that we have find in our previous step. So now to find that we have to multiply the V1 at an angle delta 1 individually for this two term. So first multiply V1 by this term. So that is equal to V1 into mod V1, that is equal to mod V1 square divided by Z. Now In case of multiplication, the resultant angle is equal to addition of all the angles. So delta 1 plus gamma minus delta 1 is equal to gamma only, minus, now multiply with this term. So that is equal to V1 into V2 divided by mod Z, and addition will be delta 1 plus gamma minus delta 2. So I can write that gamma plus delta 1 minus delta 2, that is equal to value of S12. So this is our final equation of complex power. Now from complex power, now we are able to find out the active power and reactive power. We know that complex power is equal to S is equal to P plus JQ. Now if we will take the cosine angle of complex power, so that is equal to active power, and if we take sine angle of complex power, then that is equal to reactive power. So the cosine angle of active power, cosine angle of complex power is equal to active power. So we can say that P12 is equal to mod V1 square by mod Z cos gamma minus mod V1 mod V2 by mod Z cos gamma plus delta 1 minus delta 2. That is the equation of P12. Here we will take the cosine angle of complex power. Now Q12 is given by mod V1 square by mod Z sin gamma minus mod V1 mod V2 by mod Z sin gamma plus delta 1 minus delta 2. That is the sine angle of complex power, that will gives us the value of reactive power. So this is the way that we can find out the value of active power from complex power and value of reactive power from complex power. Now we know that in our power system, transmission line have small resistance compared to its reactance. So let's ideally assume that R equal to 0. So impedance, we know that impedance equal to R plus Jx. So we will put R equal to 0. So impedance will be equal to 0 plus Jx, that is nothing but equal to Jx. So if we will find its polar form, it equal to Z equal to X at an angle 90 degree. So we take over here Z equal to X and its angle gamma equal to 90 degree for the further analysis. So we know that P12 is equal to mod V1 square by mod Z cos gamma minus mod V1 mod V2 by mod Z cos gamma plus delta 1 minus delta 2. Here we will put Z equal to X and delta equal to 90 in our equation number 3. So P12 is equal to mod V1 square divided by mod X cos 90 minus mod V1 mod V2 by mod X cos 90 plus delta 1 minus delta 2. So we know that cos 90 is equal to 0 and cos 90 plus delta 1 minus delta 2 is equal to minus sin delta 1 minus delta 2. So here minus minus will becomes plus. So P12 is equal to mod V1 mod V2 by mod X sin delta 1 minus delta 2. This is the equation of active power for R equal to 0. Keep in mind this thing. So that is the equation of P12. Now we will try to find out the value of Q12 for Z equal to X and delta equal to 90 degree. So that is equal to Q12 equal to mod V1 square by X sin 90 degree minus mod V1 mod V2 by mod X sin 90 plus delta 1 minus delta 2. So sin 90 is equal to 1. So over here mod V1 square by mod X minus mod V1 mod V2 by mod X and sin 90 plus delta 1 minus delta 2 is equal to cos delta 1 minus delta 2. So in this equation we can take mod V1 by mod X common. So Here we will take mod V1 by mod x common, so only mod V1 will remain, so that is equal to mod V1. This is the minus sign. Here we will take mod V1 by x common, so remaining term will be mod V2 cos delta 1 minus delta 2. So this is the value of reactive power for R equal to 0. So this is the way to find out the value of active power and reactive power for resistance equal to 0. Now we have take R equal to 0, or we will assume that R equal to 0. So what does it mean? It means that in a transmission line there is no losses because resistance equal to 0. So we can say that real power which is sent from one end is equal to real power received at another end, because there is no losses of transmission line if R equal to 0. So whatever power we have sent, 100% will reach at receiving end. So this is the equation of P12 and Q12. Now from equation 4 we can say that active power is proportional to the angle of delta. Let consider delta equal to delta 1 minus delta 2, because for any transmission line voltage will remain constant, and transmission line impedance is also not changed. So we can say that power will totally depends on the sine angle of delta 1 minus delta 2. So that active power is proportional to delta. Active power is proportional to delta, and delta is equal to, we have taken delta 1 minus delta 2. So if I can say that V1 leads V2, that means delta is positive because delta 1 is greater than delta 2. So in this case power will flow from node 1 to node 2 if V1 leads to V2, and vice versa, if V2 leads to V1, then delta is negative and power flow from node 2 to node 1, that means in this direction. So we can say that if V1 leads to V2, then power will flow from node 1 to node 2, and if V2 leads to V1, then power flow from node 2 to node 1. But keep in mind that transmission line voltage and transmission line reactance is constant for this particular case, and in that condition we can only say that P12 is proportional to delta, or delta 1 minus delta 2. Now consider the second case for R equal to 0, that maximum power occurs when delta equal to 90. That means if this part is constant, then the maximum value of sine which is equal to the maximum value of power, and sine theta maximum value at an angle 90. So we can say that maximum power will flow when delta equal to 90. So we will put over here delta equal to 90. So sine 90 equal to 1. So the P max is given by V1 V2 by mod x. So that is the maximum value of power which is occur at an angle 90 degree only. So the first thing that we have learned is power is proportional to the angle difference, that is the delta 1 minus delta 2, but the condition is that voltage and transmission line reactance will have to constant. So in that condition only power is proportional to the difference of angle delta 1 and delta 2, and if delta 1, or we can say that V1 leads to V2 and delta is positive, so power will flow from node 1 to node 2, that means in this direction, and if V2 leads to V1, in that case delta is negative and power flow from node 2 to node 1. And the second thing is that the theoretical maximum power occurs at delta equal to 90 because v1, v2 and x is constant, so sin theta maximum value is equal to 1, and that 1 or maximum value occurs at angle 90 degree. So we will assume that for maximum power delta should be equal to 90. So sin 90 equal to 1 and P max is equal to mod v1 mod v2 by x. So we will conclude our session over here. Thank you very much. If you have any doubt, you can ask me by means of call, you can mail me, or you can WhatsApp me, or you can give your doubt in comment section also. So thank you very much.